Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Previously, we had quite the episode. We started off by getting ambushed by the O'Driscolls at Shady Belle. They actually kidnapped and killed Kieran, removed his head, cut out his eyes. I don't know in which order, but I'm hoping that was the one. Sent him in on a horse, and then just ambushed us. We were able to take them out, buried his body. Moving forward, we met up with Dutch and Lenny to hit the trolley station, which turned out to be a setup by Angelo Bronte. And we are gearing up to kind of get him back. One, so we can hit the bank, and two, so we can get revenge, or so it would seem, on both ends. Before we do that, however, I would like to do some cleanup because, of course, we're trying to get the camp moved again. Now the O'Driscolls know where we are, and the Pinkertons are hot on our tail. We don't really want to be sitting around. And so I wanted to follow up first by meeting up with Levin and Calloway up in the north, and then meeting up with Strauss about whatever debtors we have left in the region. So with that being said, let's jump back in and see where this takes us.
Hello.
Never listen to me. It's like talking to a goddamn wall.
Ain't got nothing to complain about. It's all right. What do you want me to do?
I don't want you to work in that mine no more, okay?
Would you rather I go back to thieving? I'm providing for my family.
Well, you can't provide for us if you ain't got no lungs. And what if it caves in again?
Well, I told you 100 times already. It'll get better.
Yeah, sure. And who's gonna change things around here? You? Jameson? He'll work you to death.
I've had enough. I'm gonna go put food on the table.
Well, go on then. See if I care whether you come back.
You. I'm looking for Slim Grant, State Marshal. Heard you boys know where to find him.
Oh, Mr. Marshall was here last week. I think he headed up to Beaver Hollow looking for some outlaws.
Is he coming back?
Sure, when he catches them fellers he's been after.
Well, how long's he been gone?
Well, a couple of days.
Well, you ain't gonna go look for him?
If your boss's boss, who you all hated, went missing, possibly dead, at the hands of a bunch of violent wanted men, would you go looking for him?
Well, yeah, probably, because I'm a fool.
Well, when he's dead, Maybe I'll become marshal. I'll be a hero riding a horse from town to town, mister. Think of that.
Good luck with those dreams.
Not like we can go back to the
Hello, sir.
big city.
Bloody robbery at San Denis trolley station.
Yep. It's me.
What you looking for? A paper?
Okay, new Hanover Gazette.
I'll take a paper, please.
Thanks. Have a great day.
We still have to read the one from Saint
Right
Denis
here,
as well.
folks. Papers.
Howdy.
I'm going to assume he got himself into a spot of bother. Yeah.
They seen you.
I forgot. I got this while we're on the trolley.
Let's go, girl.
Oh, there you are.
You must be Slim Grant.
State Marshal. Slim Grant.
Okay. Let's get you out of here.
Yes. Indeed, son.
I need a favor, Mr. Grant. It's nothing big. I'll explain on the way. You might as well relax. Look at the floor for a bit.
This is real peculiar. I'm State Marshal, you know.
Yeah, I know. Just sit tight. All will be revealed.
Now, you gonna tell me what the hell is going on here?
I was, before you got so short with me.
son? What the hell are you up to?
I'm taking you to see an old friend of yours. It's a reunion of sorts.
Will you stop being so damn cryptic?
I'm telling you all I can. It's a job. Someone wants to see you, taking you to them.
What if I don't want to see them?
Well, that's a good argument for keeping that rope around your wrists.
I'm a state marshal, and this is an abduction.
Horse shit, I'm saving you. This is just a little detour on the way to liberty.
I will prosecute you for this, you insubordinate bastard.
There you go again, Mr. Grant. Ain't doing yourself no favors.
What's your name, son?
I ain't got no name, and I ain't your son. Sit tight. I'll take you to your friend, and this will all be over.
Oh, not for you, it won't be.
Whatever you say.
The outlaws treated me better.
This is it. Down here. It's almost over, Marshal Grant.
State Marshal Grant.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got him.
I think so.
Did you kill his cousin back in '82?
Whose cousin? My cousin. I never shot no one didn't deserve it. You shot Jed Calloway. And I told you then I'd shoot you too. And I would've if you'd shown up. I was there. No, you weren't. You left town. You take that back. But I don't care now. It's nigh on 20 years ago. We're old men. We're lucky. Fight me. You're an old man. Come on, fight me. It's a bit late, isn't it? God damn you! Oh!
Well, that settles that then.
Shot him back. I shot him in the goddamn back.
And these things happen.
God damn you, goddamn both of you!
And now calm down. Who cares? You should have shot him 20 years ago. He's dead now.
You are a sickness scum like you and you, Plato. Come on, draw!
Why?
I said draw, goddammit!
No.
Yes!
Shit, indeed. Still, at least now you got an ending to your book.
He's dead.
Oh, don't you start now.
No, I'm not starting. I'm happy. I'm free. I can finally go back to writing westerns instead of being in one.
He was pretty wild. And I know some wild people.
He was certainly complicated.
I'm sorry I shot him.
No, and you didn't shoot him. He did. In the back. After he mortally wounded Slim Grant. Fair and square.
Yes, that's it.
Last of the gunslingers.
Well, more or less, I guess.
There's more?
Oh, there's always folk who shoot you in the back and then rewrite history.
Oh, hey! Where do I send the money?
Send it to Tacitus Kilgore. No, that ain't my real name.
I suppose. Sorry, Theodore. Not how I intended for that to go. Oop. Shouldn't have done that.
Girl.
Okay, well, while we were up here, we might do some scouting for Moosin.
Hello there.
Okay then, girl.
3-star. Not you. We could definitely use the meat. Come on, it's okay. Stay near the road. You should be fine. Alright. The other one I just figured we could get some meat off of. I only need the one hide as far as I know. If not, we'll go back out again. Oops.
Shh, girl, won't take long.
I don't need the skin.
Okay, my girl.
Mine out and bring that horse back anytime.
Keep that iron ready to fire, boys. There he is! Stop or I'll shoot you dead!
Bounty hunters. Gotcha. Who's left? That is why we are not going back to Saint Denis anytime soon. Other than the bank job, obviously.
goes there?
It's me, Arthur.
You're back.
Slow up now.
Good evening, Arthur. Haven't received anything from you in a while, Mr. Morgan.
I will.
Very good. We were getting low. Thank you, Arthur.
Moneylender.
This camp could do with a few improvements. Why don't you take a look at my
I
ideas?
don't force anyone to take the money, and I don't force anyone to not repay it. But if they don't, you send one of us around to break their legs. I send someone around to encourage them to comply, yes. The way I see it, it's unseemly. I did not take you for a man of mindless compassion, Mr. Bell. Oh, I ain't. But I have the good grace to shoot a fella full in the face, not call myself his friend and shoot him in the back. Is that so? Usually. Not always.
I call BS on what Micah is saying, but
There's nothing better than shooting a fella
yeah,
who thinks you like him in the back.
there's the BS.
So, watch yourself.
But otherwise, I would agree. I think what he does is really shitty.
Please, excuse me.
Okay,
You deserve it, Mr. Morgan.
all right, and that's probably gonna be the last of our upgrades that we'll be doing.
A few changes never hurt.
Mr. Morgan.
Still working, Mr. Strauss. What you been up to?
Trying to wrap up our accounts before we leave, Mr. Morgan.
So you'll be joining us in Tahiti?
I rather fancied Australia. A similar kind of people to us. Lots of opportunity.
Dutch tells me we're going to be ranchers.
Perhaps, but so far we have not raised many cattle.
No.
So, Mr. Morgan, will you help me finalize our business here?
This is filthy work.
We'll need money in Australia. For cattle and feed, I mean. Why flinch now? You never have done before.
I don't know.
Well, here they are. Some fishermen by the name of Davison, Algie Davison, living in a place called Catfish Jackson near Scarlet Meadows.
A fisherman.
And that's it. We're a union built on that, you know.
Okay.
Hello, Pearson.
Miss Jones.
Yes, I don't think anything new has been really added. So I think we are good up on everything that we can do.
Hi, Mary Beth.
Morning, Arthur.
You okay, Miss Grimshaw?
O'Driscoll's? Pinkertons? Is there anybody who doesn't know where we are at this point?
I don't know what to tell you.
Good morning, Arthur.
This has all gotten a little crazy.
We need to find where those O'Driscolls are at, and go hit them back.
I don't know. I ain't sure that's the right move.
Definitely not the right move at this moment. I am curious. $55.
Sizing that one up then, are you? It's a decent bounty.
Camille Millemont. Capture or killing. Another lemony raider? How many more of these are we going to find? He is French. Last seen in the region of Catfish Jackson's. We're familiar with that area. He is French. That's not helpful. I suppose if he speaks, it is.
Try looking for that one out by Catfish Jackson's. And when you get him and his cronies, tell him that we're just railway workers here. I thought I recognized you. Hello again. Odd instruments of tyranny, or however they phrase it. The imbeciles.
I love Alden. Letter from the mayor's office. Huh. Okay, and I suppose we might as well get this off our record.
Oh my, you are a bad person.
Oh yes, yes I am.
That was all legitimate funds, I'm sure.
Thank you for your help.
Okay. Letter from the mayor's office, June 1899, from the office of Jean-Marc Mercier. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. Mayor of Saint Denis. Mayor of Saint Denis. Dear Mr. Kilgore, these are troubling times at City Hall with the resignation of Mayor Lemieux, but civic business continues. The new mayor has asked that you be formally commended for your recent services to the city of Saint Denis. Please accept this token of gratitude of the citizenry along with a personal message from the mayor. This scandal will pass, and we will be stronger than ever. Yours respectfully, the office of the mayor of Saint Denis. So, Jean-Marc took the post. And apparently is, letting him go, worked out in my favor, I guess. The bounty should be... the bounty, I'm not sure on that one. That might be a pain with being a raider, but... We got the dead right here first. Locked up. The marker is outside of the house, sort of, so... Unless that's the house, but that's kind of small. There you are.
Hey! You better have a damn good reason for being on my property, mister.
You remember that loan you took, Mr. Davison? Well, time's long since up. I'm here to collect.
I should have known. You goddamn bludgeon men are all the same. Sure, I got your money. Every stinking cent. It's in the house. Hell, I'll even offer you a drink. We can toast to never laying eyes on each other again. I got a powerful thirst on me right now. How about you? Well, you gotta be stinking drunk already to do this kind of work.
I like doing it sober.
If you take my money, surely you take a drink off me as well. That would be the mannerly thing to do.
Let's handle the money first. Worry about manners later, okay?
I could be fishing.
You were catching flies. You weren't catching fish. Now, come on. Let's get us that debt.
This is as fast as I can go. Someone's here, boy.
Pop, wait, what's going on?
Don't just stand there. Go fix us a drink.
Another one, Pop?
Don't give me no talk, boy. Just do it. I'll look down here for our savings.
Savings? Under the sink?
Best place for 'em. Now where's them drinks, boy?
Drinks ready. It's right there, mister.
It's our life savings. Come and take what you owe. I cut your damn head clean off. Stinking fool.
Still think you're tough?
Yeah, that seemed a little bit suspicious, if you ask me. And where did the kid go? One of these rooms, I imagine. Letter to Nate from Mama. Dearest Nate, I don't know how many letters I've written now, but I won't stop trying. Even the act of writing feels like some connection to you, which is certainly better than none. I can understand how hurt and angry you must be for walking out on you like I did, but I promise that I love you with all my heart. I just couldn't take it a day longer. You know your father's temper, especially when he was drinking, which was all the time at the end. I found work and am renting a small house. Just give me the word and I will send for you. We can both start again. Love always, Mama. Heart situation. Okay, nothing here. Snake oil, I don't really need that. That's the front door, but the other room.
Don't hurt me, all right?
Son, I want to get out of here, but I can't until I find some money.
There's some in my footlocker. I've been keeping it away from him.
Ain't that lucky?
I feel like these debts just get worse and worse.
I think I know the sum. And that should cover it.
Ain't you the good son? Should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, unlike us. I mean, it's clear that Arthur doesn't revel in doing this. None of the camp members do, but... Alright, on to the other guy. This one might give some trouble. So, Lemony Raiders means probably a campsite. Or ruins.
Easy there.
Why not? Explosives. Uh-oh.
Good work, my friends. I am proud of you all. That will send a clear message. Let's hitch the horses and relax a little.
That's my
Come
guy.
on, gather round the fire. Who the hell is he? Intruder in camp! Kill that bastard! Shit!
Dead or alive.
God damn you!
Thought maybe he would have given up if I took them out first, but he's definitely French. Lemoyne Raiders letter. Did I say Lemoyne? I'm sorry. Lemony Raiders. I'm not allowed to say Lemoyne Raiders. Lemoyne Raiders letter, William. I am writing to let you know our raids against the Jayhawkers in Lawrence, Kansas have been successful. There are many times since we set out on this campaign that I doubted there was a God who loved us, but today I have a glimmer of hope. That they call us Lemoyne Raiders, bushwhackers, and border ruffians does not diminish our fight for free state, and to be free from the incursions of northerners set on changing our way of life. I hope you will continue to recruit more young men to our cause here in Lemoyne. We will ride through their ranks and smite down the oppressors. History is not over and shall be rewritten. It is always darkest before dawn. Sincerely, William Marcus Anderson. Well, at least we don't need to listen to him yammer on the entire way back. So we'll turn this guy in and head back to camp.
shot Millemont's bloody corpse. Get him!
Uh-oh. Easier said than done.
There's a girl.
Oh. The last of them? Well. How'd that work out for you? You know, I was just thinking, what are the odds somebody's gonna recognize the dude?
Well, his troublemaking days are behind him now.
What they are.
Oh my God!
Please, I just want to be left to myself.
This hunk of dead meat used to be called the Millemont.
Okay, put him out the back there. Probably best it ended this way, you know? This town don't need any more of its dirty laundry aired.
I think I like the new sheriff.
That's what we'll pay for him.
I guess that's what I'll have to accept then. That's it.
It's more than what it said. What was it, like $55?
Okay, girl.
Howdy, partner.
Who's that?
Man coming in.
Good to see you back, Arthur.
Easy, easy. You can rest now, girl.
Okay, let's do a brush and a feed.
Interesting to see you eat.
Why, sir?
Okay, Mr. Morgan. I thought the opium did it for your appetite. Usually does.
I am not an opium user,
right.
sir. I take
Grimshaw.
morphine for medical reasons.
Whatever you say, Reverend, it's
Smile,
all
Arthur.
the same with me. You're weak, and you're hiding, and your being up there in heaven don't give two shits about you. So you take opium to feel okay, and them's the facts.
Them ain't the facts, sir.
I'm sorry, Reverend. But the way I see it, your kind is parasites, deceiving people, and a greater evil than those of us who know better.
Is that so?
Yes, it is.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Did Uncle just rip one?
Hi, cowpoke.
You ain't mentioned the Blackwater money for 5 minutes. This is a new record.
Now that ain't nice, Morgan.
Why don't you leave him alone?
That man's a mess. He contributes nothing.
Just leave him, okay?
He's a hell of a lot better of a man than you are. Go sleep till morning. Alright, so Score's dead in feud, Braithwaite's versus Gray's. Braithwaite Manor burned to ground, Sheriff Gray killed, most of both families believed dead, Rhodes in pieces. So yeah, so this is still going back quite a ways. The feud between the old plantation families, the Grays and the Braithwaites, began almost a century ago and has come to a head in the streets of Rhodes in a bloody shootout. And that was actually us, not the Braithwaites. or us versus the Grays. Most of the Gray family, including Sheriff Lee Gray, perished in the ambush as the streets pooled with blood. Witnesses at the scene of the battle say bodies littered the streets. Soon after, apparently in a bit of reprisal, several men stormed Braithwaite Manor, executing everyone inside. The historic plantation house was then burned to the ground. The fire could be seen for miles as locals rushed to the scene to find out what happened. Officials do not know how many perished and will need to spend several days searching for the ruins to determine the exact number. All of the Braithwaite family are believed dead, although some family members remain unaccounted for, and some were believed out of town. Telegraphic and telephone communication erupted in the hours afterwards as friends and loved ones reached out to find out what transpired. Services for the dead will be held in coming days. And that's probably a good thing that they think it's them fighting each other, not us. A cautionary tale, railroad path brings decline, Tumbleweed residents fret at future. The once bustling town of Tumbleweed in Gaptooth Ridge, New Austin, is growing quiet. The shops sit mostly empty. The blacksmith is idle. The population is dwindling as wagon after wagon of families leave. Since the railroad bypassed Tumbleweed in favor of Armadillo, trade and commerce has moved away. The last holdouts fear that there exists not much future for the dear town of Tumbleweed, and it will become another casualty of the technological advances that have blighted so much of our westward expansion, with controversial Sheriff Samuel Freeman presiding over a dusty, soon-to-be-forgotten relic of the desert. Riverboat Grand Corrigan announces high-stakes gambling nights. High rollers, debutantes, and card sharks will be welcome on board the Grand Corrigan riverboat in a series of high-stakes gambling nights arranged to stimulate the tourist industry in town. Moored in Saint Denis, the Grand Corrigan is said to be the most opulent riverboat of its kind still in operation, and those who have spent days of travel aboard said they scarcely wanted to disembark once reaching their destination. The staff are famously attentive and impeccable. The cuisine is some of the finest and experienced outside of France. The linens and millinery, I'm not sure I've heard that term before, are all imported from Italy. The high-stakes gambling nights became something of a legend, with some of the biggest and richest men of industry meeting to raise, bluff, and bet incredible sums, some said to exceed the cost of a team of horses, the stable they reside in, and the mansion next door. The Grand Corrigan has resumed the famed gambling evenings now that it is moored in the area for a few weeks in preparation for resuming luxury travel service. And that's the boat that that's the hit that we made on the boat, and then afterwards Levin and Calloway were staying there. Grand champagne reception to be held, Mayor Lemieux's annual party, music and fireworks planned, high society on display. The elite and politicians of Saint Denis are waiting for their invitations to attend the annual champagne reception and gala held by Mayor Henri Lemieux at his exquisite mansion on Flavian Street. Known as the richest and most extravagant party of the year, it is considered the highest honor to receive an invitation to attend. Invitations have been sent. Ball gowns and fine suits are being made to order. Champagne has arrived by boat just 2 days ago, enough to fill a swimming pool should Mayor Lemieux choose to build one. The annual event is a highlight of the year, and many yearn to take part, as the women wear spectacular dresses and the men carry pocket watches and other fine accoutrements worth a year's salary for most working folk. Sorry, I'm butchering words here now. This year's affair promises to be the biggest celebration yet, with musicians playing, people dancing, and the evening culminating in a fireworks display that is sure to be the grandest spectacle of the year. Onlookers are expected to gather to catch a glimpse of the beautiful and splendid guests, and that's the party that we were invited to by Bronte. Submarine in the works. Ooh, cool. A modern marvel will be powered by steam, similar to 1860s Southern Navy model. Jack Yanner was only 10 when the war between the states ended, but he remembers the stories of how Southern ingenuity resulted in the invention of the underwater boat, or submarine, named the H.T. Abernathy, or Abernathy, depending how that's pronounced, and played a part in the war. Under a contract with the U.S. Navy, Yanner is currently working on a submarine based on the original design, but rather than being human-powered, it moves via internal combustion engine while on the surface of the water and electrical power when submerged. He hopes when it is completed in 1900, it will be the first submarine commissioned by the Navy. Well, I'm not sure how that's pronounced because I think that's regional. Abernathy killed 2 crews during testing and ultimately sank during battle when it was too close to its own torpedo explosion. It did ultimately sink the Northerners' Navy ship. There are also plans to possibly power the new design with steam, similar to the competing submarine currently in development in France. Okay. Opera singer robbed, that was us. Stagecoach stopped in Scarlet Meadows. Mrs. Chester Damson, a wealthy socialite and self-trained opera singer, was most recently traveling to New York City to sing on Broadway, was robbed while traveling through Scarlet Meadows. The ruse began as a man purporting to be the business of throwing musicals stopped the wagon she was traveling in and asked Mrs. Damson for an impromptu audition. Happy to oblige, she sang her heart out. Little did she know the man had an accomplice hiding in the thicket. This is referring to like when Trelawney gave us the Lockbreaker and asked her to sing, and she was terrible, which is odd for an opera singer, I would think. While she was singing, he snuck into the back of the wagon and stole her prized possessions and a great deal of currency. Upon making her report to the local magistrate, she chastised him for not hunting down nefarious elements in the region and allowing wanton robbery and thieves. Mrs. Damson had recently returned from her performances in New York, which received very mixed reviews, which she blamed on the orchestra wandering off key and on the viciousness of the New York press, or the fact that she actually couldn't sing, because I heard her and that's not how that was supposed to sound. I'm no musical expert, but I'm going to say that's not how opera is supposed to sound. Motorized lawnmower, patented invention powered by steam. Imagine never again having to swing a scythe to clear a field of grass. Carlisle McEnroy has filed a patent for a motorized lawnmower, and he says will make the chore of a thing of ease. It is powered by petrol or paraffin, which heats up boiling water into steam that runs the contraption and allows for the spinning blades to slice through the grass. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but McEnroy said his invention means that on a hot summer day, a man can clear his lot easily, pushing the machine around as it billows out steam and slices each blade of grass effortlessly. There are push mowers that work pretty well. Banks worry of crash. J.D. McKnight warns investors could repeat panic of 1893. Prominent New York financier J.D. How did I pronounce that? McKnight? I think that's how it's pronounced. spoke to a group of in New York Friday, saying that the economic policies of the United States could create another financial panic within the next 10 years. During the Panic of 1893, the U.S. Treasury nearly ran out of gold, prompting McKnight and the others to sell the government 3.5 million ounces of gold. McKnight also helped to rebuild Saint Denis after the Civil War, an act that prompted the city to build a statue in his honor. Critics contend McKnight is an opportunist and carpetbagger who has repeatedly benefited greatly from the catastrophe and economic crisis. Savages in the swamp, night folk terrorizing citizens. Residents in the bayou are on edge as reports circulate of murders and robberies committed by a stealthy group of swamp dwellers commonly referred to as night folk. Believed to be responsible for the murder of Doris Whitcomb, attacks have escalated and citizens are warned to avoid the area. These elusive swamp dwellers are thought to be a feral outpost of illiterate, inbreeding people living in the deplorable conditions, devoid of even intelligible speech. I wouldn't jump to those conclusions, to be honest. Violent, sneaky, and dangerous, they communicate with savage grunts and clicks, and according to one man who fought them off, they behave as savage beasts. Travel is discouraged. See, I don't really know enough about them to say any of that. They're definitely creepy, though. Serial killer dead, and I think that's probably me. Murder den discovered. Valentine breathes relief. Edmund Lowry Jr., the degenerate perpetrator behind a string of grisly murders that terrorized residents, is finally dead. Considered a likable, mild-mannered gentleman by those he met in public, Lowry was secretly a man who murdered for pleasure, carrying out brutal killings around the area. When news of his capture and killing spread, residents breathed a collective sigh of relief, as the spat of serial killings has put the town on edge. After an altercation with the sheriff of Valentine, Lowry was killed. Law enforcement officials later discovered his dilapidated murder den under a ruined shack outside of the town limits. A decided novelty, wildlife photography exhibit in Thralls. So this must be Albert. Oh, yep, there it is. The wildlife photography of Albert Mason is on view at the Fiore Collection in New York, furthering the photographer and conservationists' pledge to promote the preservation of America's remarkable but fast disappearing fauna. The beautifully captured photographs feature coyotes, wolves, wild horses, alligators, and eagles, all of which we helped him do. And you can actually find them, I showed them earlier, you can find them in the art exhibits in Saint Denis as well, which I noticed when I saw a picture of myself. In a prepared speech at the gallery, Mr. Mason said he is humbled in his achievements, had some harrowing close calls, and told attendees it is remarkable he survived to publish the photos. He expressed hope that that Americans in the future will pursue wild animals with a camera and flashbulb rather than a hunting rifle. And our last one, The Art of Angling by Jeremy Gill, Lake Sturgeon. I really can't stand Jeremy Gill. We haven't even met him in the game yet, and I'm just saying I can't stand him. And if you don't need to meet him, just read his articles. They're awful. Once at a dinner party held by my honor by the German ambassador, I witnessed a rotund woman inhaling plate after plate as if her life depended on it. I remarked that she possessed the culinary conducts of Asa Spencer fulvescens, a joke sadly lost on most of the attendants, and that should be in italics. Did they not do that in the days? So that's a genus species name. Any half-educated man knows that the lake sturgeon is a bottom-dwelling fish with a sizable snout that disturbs sediment and vacuums up small creatures. I recommend you use a spinner or a man-made lure during overcast weather. You'll land a fish far more delicious than this Germanic monstrosity could ever know. Once considered a nuisance fish, they are remarkably delicious. Try the Lannahechee River Delta. I think of, isn't that the location where we went fishing with Javier? The Lannahechee River Delta. It's a little pond, kind of close to Clemens Point. Or not close, but I caught and cooked a sturgeon for the King of Prussia there. So my tales of Germans and sturgeon come full circle. Happy casting. Or maybe they were just talking about that. I don't know. I could be off on that. Anyways, that was cool. I love these things. These papers really add a lot of flavor to the world. Okay, so... Alright, so this is going to the previous episode. Kieran, that poor kid we spared from O'Driscoll's gang up in the mountains, is dead, killed by the bastards. He saved my life, and I could not save his. They chopped his head off and tried to kill the lot of us. Mrs. Adler fought braver than any of us. She is driven by powerful forces I scarcely understand. That's what love has done to her, I guess. I feel like an animal, living out in the mud here. Whole place gives me the creeps. Kay, rest in peace. That is really sad. They also cut out his eyes, and I'm really hoping they did that after they cut the head off. Seems those of us who thought Angelo Bronte was a lizard in a suit was right, and them as thought he was a gentleman thief eager to help us on our merry way was wrong. Bastards sent us into a trap in town, told us to rob a trolley station, no money but the entire police force waiting for us. Dutch nearly died. Lenny fought real hard. The kid is good in a fight and saved us. Dutch is planning some big escape for us all. Some grandmaster plan. Everything we are attempting here seems troubled. I hope we can get out of here alive. And like I said, keep in mind that Dutch, not only did Dutch nearly die, he hit himself in the head pretty bad. They emphasize that in a couple of ways. Right now, it don't seem likely. Dutch is raging about Bronte's deception or betrayal or whatever quite it was. Dutch don't like being made a fool of. I don't think any of us do. Even Micah, with all his teasing and needling, plays it real cool with Dutch. I would not want to be the Bronte right now. I could not see Dutch letting this pass. And no, he will not. We all know he won't. So that is where we left off in the previous episode. When we went out into the bayou to kind of set up the... What was the guy's name that we talked to? Real nice guy. Basically, he's gonna row us into Bronte's from the bayou. Can't think of his name, though. And here's what we did to start off this episode. Went back to see Calloway and Levin. Calloway, still a drunken clown, had me kidnap some old adversary, Slim Grant. They ended up shooting each other, and then Calloway turned on me. Less said, the better, but Levin has himself a book, and I will slide back into obscurity. Gunslinging ain't the life for me. I prefer good, honest killing with none of the pretensions. Okay. And, yeah, that's Calloway. It ain't John Mark, it's Jean-Marc, you fool. I like that he writes that. And he's now the mayor. I guess that's good. Lemieux's done for. Yeah, so we got that letter from Jean-Marc that Henri Lemieux is no longer the mayor of Saint Denis. He stepped down. So I guess his corruption came to light. All right, that is a good place to close things out. To start off, we headed up into the north towards Brandywine Drop, I think it's called, where we met up with Levin and Calloway. We stopped along the way to pick up the Marshal, Slim Grant, and the idea was to have them face off with each other in a final duel, so Calloway could kind of claim some fame to his quickest left-handed draw in the West, I think it was called. He's known as, but all the stories have said that he's a coward, essentially. He's the one who always runs away from a fight or hides or something like that. And Slim Grant didn't care. He didn't want to have anything to do. It turned his back, and Calloway shot him in the back. Then he turned on me, and that didn't end well for him. Well, actually, it didn't end well for me first, but, you know, storyline-wise, it didn't end well for him. So on the way back, we ended up hunting down an alligator, and so that's going to be probably our last touch-up on the camp here as we press towards the end of the chapter. And to close things out, we essentially went for the last deader. So we talked to Strauss, and we went after a bounty in Rhodes, and we are back, back in camp now and ready to head towards the end game of Chapter 4. So we have to make a move on Bronte still, and then we're gonna take the bank, I guess. That's our last big score here. So we'll see how that plays out. Whew, that was a lot, right? With that being said, let us officially close things out for the day. Thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.